Evening, welcome to Interesting Talks with footprintscounselingservice.com. I hope that you are well and making the most of life. The saying, life gave me lemons, so I'll make lemonade. Today's talk is on, can you be your best friend or your worst enemy? I put this post out earlier this week on Facebook and there was a lot of reaction to it. So do like, share and leave comments on Facebook, Twitter and on YouTube. I really do enjoy reading them. And I know that others do too. We all learn from each other. And it helps others to have the confidence to leave their comments as well. It is a normal human trait to help others. But if we do it and put other people first at the cost of ourselves, in order to people please or to fit in, we need to find a balance between living for ourselves and helping others. If we don't fill our cup first, we'll have nothing to give to others. So you can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Think about this. If you find yourselves holding back from being yourself, it is time for change. People go to self-deprecating lengths to make sure that they're not judged by other people. They avoid telling people what they want to tell them. They don't speak up in class, at work meetings. They avoid telling their lover their true desires. They don't ask for a raise. They don't tell a new date where they'd like to go for dinner even. Are you your best friend or your worst enemy? This fear of judgment is linked to desire to be liked by all the time. But because that's impossible, this is a losing battle, a losing game that keeps people from experiencing or expressing their true selves. Let's face it, humans are always judging others, good, bad, or like, stroke, dislike, lots of nuances in between. And as information comes in, the human mind reassesses it all. It's an ongoing process. Instead of avoiding the issues of not saying anything about your preferences and working overtime to try to shape people in your life so that they won't judge you, you can work to accept this process instead. So here are 4 ways that I find that can help you to stop living in fear of judgment and of course being yourself. Number 1, nothing lasts forever. The reality is that the human brain has limited data reserves. Although you may make judgments, they are not significant enough to earn a place in our memory banks for eternity. So when someone makes a judgment about you, chances are, moments or days later, that judgment will have left their consciousness awareness. We build up our understanding of people not by minor mistakes or setbacks we observe, but by creating a schema based on the big things they do and say, and patterns of how they interact with us and make us feel over time. 2, judgment is unavoidable. Stop trying to control judgments of others. It has become a part of our zeitgeist to demand that others not to judge us. Think of the popular statements such as no judgments and this is a non-judgmental zone. None of this really helps. You can't control what others think. Maybe they won't express their judgment, but it doesn't mean they can stop a psychological brain process. It's going to take place irrespective. Instead, try to explain the context of what you are feeling so that those you open up to understand you have compassion. And the compassion will be also known as a form of kryptonite to judgmental people and judgments. Judgments have little weight because people can imagine themselves feeling exactly the same way as you feel. 3, let the judgment come out. It's liberating in relationships. Allow judgments to come out in your relationships. Be open and vulnerable with your partner, sharing something negative that's important to you about yourself. Do it anyway. If you notice yourself holding back out of fear of judgment, ask yourself first, what judgments do I fear will come from my opening up? And what is it I fear will occur if they make that particular judgment about me? Is it going to be the end of the world? Once you identify that fear, try to reassure yourself or find a way that you could manage the fear if it did come to be. Remind yourself that close and intimate relationships deepen when people risk judgment. If this openness doesn't happen, it doesn't necessarily mean you have done something wrong, but it may mean the person you are working to connect with doesn't have the capacity for emotional, intimate relationship. It does happen. 4, notice your own judgments. There is no better way to care less about the judgments of others than to judge yourself and others less. Of course, judgment is unavoidable, but watch the language you use in your own head about the people and events in your life. Change the focus of your judgments. Instead of she sucks or he's a loser, ask yourself what effect the person has on you that you want to avoid or be aware of in the future. For example, she never follows through with her commitments to me. Or he tells me he's trying, but I always end up disappointed. Move away from the bad character traits of those in your life to what is healthy for you. If you have had a trauma or abuse in the past, it can make us more skeptical and to make we think that we're always wrong or there's something wrong with us and that we are too broken to be fixed and we're not worth the effort. These thoughts and feelings are shame-based and are why we think that somebody else is more deserving of care than what we are. We can put all our energies behind others, believing we are not worth it. But I'm here to tell you right now, everyone is worth it. I know it can be hard to see at times, but we all deserve a happy and full life. Don't let those that messed you up in the past spoil your future. Take your life back. Be your own best friend. I thank you for listening. Do like and share with friends, family and colleagues. Leave comments. I will reply to them. Until next week, take care of yourself. Try and stay positive and be your best friend. Bye for now.